Hello and welcome to Arirang News Break. Live from Seoul, I'm Han Daeun. We begin at the top office. President Park Geun-hye has begun a meeting with the leaders of South Korea's three main political parties to seek their cooperation to jointly deal with the security crisis caused by North Korea's fifth nuclear test last Friday. For more, we have our presidential office correspondent Song Ji-sun on the line. Ji-sun, it's been about an hour since the meeting began. What can you tell us?
Good afternoon, Dan. The meeting is expected to last about an hour and a half, and it's the first meeting between President Park Geun-hye and the party leaders since the 20th National Assembly began and the new leaders took their posts. Given the severity of the current security threat, the meeting is attended by the President's Chief of Staff, the National Security Council Chief, as well as Foreign Affairs and Unification Ministers. From the National Assembly, the three main party leaders, Lee Jung-hyun of the ruling Saenuri Party, the main opposition chief Choo Mi-ae from the Minju Party, and Park Ji-won of the minor opposition People Party have joined with their senior spokespersons. President Park will likely ask for multi-party support on pressing security matters, such as the upcoming deployment of the U.S. missile defense system THAAD, especially in light of the heightened tension over the North Fifth nuclear test and the regime's continued threats. President Park will also share the results of the summit talks held during her recent trips to Russia, China, and Laos, in which she focused on garnering neighboring countries' support and cooperation to pressure Pyongyang on its nuclear program. In addition to security issues, the main opposition Minju Party and the minor opposition People's Party also said they will bring up issues related to improving the people's livelihoods and other important economic matters, with Finance Minister Yoo Il-ho also present at the meeting to hear those demands. Back to you.
Thank you, Ji-sun, for that. Keep us posted. North Korea's top diplomat Lee Yong-ho arrived in Beijing on Monday, according to Japan's Kyodo News Agency. It appears that he's stopping by before attending some upcoming international meetings. AP reported that Pyongyang's foreign minister is expected to take part in the Non-Aligned Movement Summit in Venezuela and the UN General Assembly in New York, slated for this and next week. Lee's trip has gathered some attention as it comes just days after North Korea conducted its fifth nuclear test. It's not known whether the diplomat will meet with Chinese officials, but if he does, it could be in an attempt to convince North Korea's closest ally to lower the pressure on the regime. The world is still processing the implications of North Korea's fifth nuclear test, but there's already speculation Pyongyang could conduct yet another one before the year is out. South Korean military also says the reclusive regime is ready for another nuke test at any time. Connie Kim has more.
North Korea has reportedly completed preparations for another nuclear test. Multiple sources within the South Korean government said Monday that South Korea and U.S. intelligence authorities are keeping a close eye on the possibility Pyongyang may push the button on its sixth test at the third unused tunnel of its Punggye-ri test site. Seoul's defense ministry on Monday also confirmed that the North is always ready for an additional nuclear test at Punggye-ri in North Korea's northeast region. The first nuclear tests have been conducted at the first tunnel, and 4 nuclear tests have been conducted at the second tunnel at its mountainous test site. Seoul and Washington have evaluated that the North will most likely forge ahead with another nuclear provocation before the end of the year, as Pyongyang vowed to continue its nuclear development when it announced last Friday's test. To respond to any sudden movements, South Korean and the U.S. military authorities have increased surveillance assets to monitor areas near the Punggye-ri test site. Connie Kim, Arirang News.
Korea's former finance minister Hyun Oh-seok has been appointed to the International Advisory Panel of the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, or AIIB. According to Korea's finance ministry on Monday, the panel consists of about 10 experts in international finance. The panel advises China's premier international development bank on major issues. The bank also appointed as its controller Yoo Jae-hoon, the CEO of Korea Securities Depository. He'll be in charge of setting up budget strategies and drawing up financial reports. Amid a slump in the local shipping industry, Korea saw its biggest deficit on record in the first half of the year in transport-related activities. Outgoing payments for transport of people and goods by air and sea outpaced incoming by over $1 billion. Woo Jung-hee has the details.
Korea's transport sector posted a deficit of over $1 billion in the first 7 months of the year due to sluggish global demand and falling exports. Bank of Korea data released on Monday shows the sector's income from January to the end of July was $15 billion, while outgoings were over $16 billion. This marks the first time the sector has posted a deficit in a half-year period since related records were first compiled in 2006. By subsector, the country's shipping industry saw the largest deficit of $894 million, with its cargo transport income tumbling over 28% compared to the same period last year. According to the Korea Customs Service on Monday, Korea's exports for the first 10 days of September declined 3.6%. In August, Korea's exports rebounded after falling for 19 straight months. The disappointing September figures come as cargo volumes and fares decreased as sluggish economic growth in China, Europe, and Japan eroded overseas demand. Experts say the deficit and sluggish exports may continue for a while, considering Korea's biggest shipping firm, Hanjin Shipping, is in dire financial straits after filing for court receivership 2 weeks ago. Woo Jung-hee, Arirang News.
And that's all for now. Stay tuned for more top stories here on Arirang. Thank you for watching.